I just don't like the guy. The guy's just a douchebag.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, welcome everybody. It's time to fuck or leave. 6:03 p.m., May 26th, 2014. The PulpMX Show presented by BTOsports.com. Coming at you live from Las Vegas. What a tremendous weekend. Glen Helen is back. BTOsports.com, fly racing, race tech suspension, X-Brand goggles, Atlas neck braces, Vortex racing, NFAB Jeep and truck parts, free gun underwear, Works Connection, Acherbys, FMF Racing, Tech One Designs, 810 Solutions, W Wheels, Black Ops Moto, Mafia Moto Crew, Optrix, Guts Racing, all on board with us tonight. Guts Racing, the official seat foam of the Monster Pro Circuit team. Looked fantastic out there as Dean Wilson's Kawasaki was tumbling through the air. Can hardly wait. Talk about Dean in a little bit here. Thanks for listening, everybody. We enjoyed having last week off. It was awesome. We're back now, back in a steady rotation of shows, and we thank everybody. Glen Helen was fantastic. Cooper Webb, Talon Volin, Dan Truman from Get Ignitions, and Steve Bauer is going to join us for a little bit to talk about the Big Air Kids Foundation he runs every year. And, of course, you can get this show on Stitcher, iTunes, the PulpMX app. Hey, if you have the PulpMX app, there's a best of David Pingree on there under the bonus content, best of David Pingree on the PulpMX app. You can listen to that, and Ping's been on the show for a long time, so you can check that out. Once again, I'm Steve Mathis, and we thank everybody for listening. And also on the show with me tonight from Dirt Rider magazine, dirtrider.com, former pro motocrosser, supercrosser, factory Canadian moto racer, Chris Kiefer. What's up, man?
Hey, happy Memorial Day.
Yeah, exactly. I forgot to say that. Happy Memorial Day.
You're Canadian, so.
I know, but you have anybody in the military?
No, but I appreciate everybody's hard work that they've put in, and all the guys out there right now. We wouldn't be doing this without them. So.
No, absolutely. I agree. And you know, a lot of people make fun of the Canadian military, but we were there in World War II, bro. We were there in World War I.
Yeah, you guys don't fight.
We do. We do. People make fun of us, but we do.
Really?
We have troops.
You only fight us when we try to come into your country.
We sent them to Afghanistan. We were doing all that. Trust me. Canadian military. Yes, it's not on the level of the U.S., but it's somewhat of a military, okay?
USA, bro.
These colors don't run. We got their emails, your voicemails, the Race Tech email segment coming up, the BTO Sports, Gabbett Gibbs, X-Brand tear-off questions, the NFAB question of the day, all coming up on the show. Hey, producing the show, holding down the phones, making things happen in the background. He's enjoying his Memorial Day. The Devin Gibbs. Gibbs, what's up?
What's going on, guys? How you guys doing?
Gabbett Gibbs.
No,
everything good?
It. Oh, yeah.
Enjoy your week off?
Yeah, it was cool. Did a whole lot of nothing.
That's good. That's good. A Monday night, though, where you were thinking of coming over and just sitting behind the mic?
Yeah.
Just sit there by yourself?
Yeah, I would have probably just took this nice big couch, though.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, and again, we're looking forward to having a great show. We thank you guys for listening. There is a ton to talk about, and we're going to have to come up with Dan Truman. Also, hey, by the way, W Wheels. They went 1, 2, 3 in the first Moto 450 class, Kiefer.
Nice. With
W Wheels, and I want to thank them for hosting myself all day long in their VIP area up by the finish line. Air-conditioned room, food and beverages.
Misters?
Elevated viewing. No misters.
Oh, okay.
That damn John Anderson.
Cheap, bro.
Cheap, bro. Should have got the misters. But thanks to W Wheels for everything that they do for us, for Glen Helen and Racer X, too. They helped out Racer X as well. So, Kiefer, what's been going on with you? What's new?
Well, I was supposed to test Jimmy's bike, but I ended up coming down with some pneumonia, so I was sick in bed for like a week, and so basically just trying to play catch-up on all my testing that I missed out on, and I've been missing the show. I haven't been here for a few weeks, so glad to be back.
Yeah, thanks for coming up. You and Heather came up, made the drive up.
Yeah, we love it.
How's things at Dirt Rider?
Everything's good. Just busy. We got new bike season coming up, so we were just talking about that earlier, and can't believe it's not even June yet. We're talking about 2015 motorcycles coming out. So.
I don't know if you can spill the beans, but you said you saw the new Yamaha two-strokes?
Yeah.
And they have made some significant changes.
There's a lot of changes. I can't really get into it because there's an embargo until the beginning of June.
But let's at least say that they've changed
I can reassure everyone out there that the Yamaha lovers out there will love the new changes that are being made.
Speaking of Yamaha.
Yeah, kill.
Right?
Right.
1-2 in 250 class. Josh Grant wins the first 450 moto.
Yeah, didn't see that coming at all.
No. It's incredible. Lots to talk about here on the PulpMX Show, presented by BTOsports.com. Let's bring in our resident expert on the show, all the way from Boise, Idaho, representing fly racing. Jason Thomas, what's up, JT?
What's happening?
How's things at fly racing?
The last I checked, they were good, but I haven't been there since Friday.
So things could have gone off the rails
Burning
since
down.
then.
Anything's possible.
You try fly racing's own Trey Kennard, third overall?
Yeah, it wasn't. I don't think he was like overly excited about his ride, but it was definitely. Anytime we're on the podium, we're happy.
Yeah, we've got to work on those 250 results, though, JT.
Yeah, it's been it's been a source of conversation all year.
You can rag on me for the X-Brand athletes, so.
No, we know there's a problem. I mean, we just basically, you just got to spend money. We got to spend in the right places, and that's all there's to it.
Well, you guys seem to have more privateer riders than anyone. So.
Oh, they got.
We do, absolutely. Yeah, that's when you look at the budget, and it all costs money. Whether you're giving away gear or you're spending money, it all costs money. So that's where the bulk of the budget goes.
It's a real argument. If you're Fox, you dump all your money into 4 guys, and you run up front. Yep. But whatever. Okay, so or you fly. You have a couple of those guys.
Yeah, there's a few guys that do that.
Yep.
Do it that way.
Or you have fly, and you just get exposure. Mm-hmm. I mean, those guys are all local heroes. They're all fast as crap. Whoever makes the top 40. You know that, Kiefer. JT, you know that. So you have the local heroes running fly. You have fly covered by the spectators' eyes left and right. Maybe that's it. It's just two different schools of thought.
It's funny you say that because even when I go to local tracks and test, and this is just Southern California, but I hardly ever see big brands like Thor and Fox. I see a lot of fly. Like I see a lot of that at the track, So it has to be working. Either they're, I don't know if they're getting gear or not, but there's sure a lot of it out there.
Yeah, flyracing.com, everybody, check it out. All right, Glen Helen. Where do we start? Let me just go this way. Let me start with this way.
Let's start 250s.
No, let me start this way.
Okay.
JT, your biggest surprise from Glen Helen, the takeaway.
Jeremy Martin. Easily. I mean, it's not even close.
Is this tear-off segment already?
Yeah, I know. Right? No. If it was tear-offs, he'd go on and on. Kiefer, what about you?
Honestly, Metcalf for me.
What, really? Yeah?
Yeah,
okay.
I didn't see fourth place, and...
How could anyone not say Jeremy Martin?
Well, you already said it, so I wasn't going to say it, so...
I know, I'm just saying, but I totally get what you're saying, but I just think it's so obvious. Like, there's just no way anybody could have seen that kind of domination.
That was something else. He had
20 seconds, right?
20-second leads, jumping the triple. He got 2 out of the 3 hole shots. It was a restart. His fitness was incredible. He's
in his element.
For the people that weren't there, he was gone. I mean, gone.
No.
Like you can't tell on TV because you can't see where anybody else is. In comparison,
nobody is touched. Yes, gone.
Yeah, his lap times were average 2 up to 4 seconds, a lot better than anyone else on the track at any given time.
He told me after the race he's been staying in Southern California. The team likes him staying in Southern California. He's been doing that. That shows.
Yeah, he said since Daytona, right?
Whatever he's doing, keep doing it.
When he was riding too, he didn't look
out there since Daytona.
He didn't look like he was out of control or hanging it out. He looked like
no, he didn't look like he was trying.
Right. Well, and we got we got his teammate Cooper Webb on tonight's show. Webb came from 15th, 16th to 2nd.
Yeah.
In the first moto, second moto he catches Blake Baggett and leaves him behind to get another second.
Right.
Martin's ride was better. Webb's was pretty damn close.
Webb had a great day. He was just overshadowed by Martin's ride.
Yeah,
really.
But holy shitballs, the new Yamaha 250F looked great up the hills.
Yep. I did ride that. I did all the Yamaha demos basically on last weekend. We didn't have a show, so I didn't get to talk about it. But man, I can see their bikes are so strong in production form. I can imagine that they have a really good base to build a race motor from.
I mean, it's
not surprising.
Is that the fastest 250F production bike you ever ridden?
Yeah, and I'm so jaded with the 250 because it no matter what, it still feels slow to me. Even a 350 feels slow to me just because I've been on a 450 for so long. But it was good. Normally I'm just like, oh man, this thing's terrible. But actually, that wasn't my first thought. I was like, oh, that's all right. And for me to think that, it's got to be pretty good, pretty fast stuff.
Kiefer, we did a podcast a while back. You're
I was
big
on the
that
bandwagon
bike.
already.
Yeah. No,
I was there. So and that's the thing, like JT, I was like him. Like I'm a 450 guy. I ride smoother. I don't, scrub everything in sight. But when I got on that 250, I was like, man, I can almost ride it like a 450 and ride it smoother. There's so much torque and mid-range, and I wasn't a fan of the 250 class as far as riding them at all. And then I got on there, I'm like, wow, man, I like riding this bike. So it says something.
Yeah, it was. I couldn't agree more with you. I was pleasantly surprised. It still feels bigger than I would like it's a wider bike, like the 450 is.
Right.
But motor-wise, in the 450 is the exact same thing, except for it's even more impressive. The 450 in production form is incredibly fast.
Yeah, that's gnarly.
So are we going to see Martin and Webb just podiums, titles? I mean, is this a one-off thing, Kiefer? Or are we going to see these guys?
We're not going to go that far yet, but
they were so dominant, so good. That's why I ask.
And the thing is, but you talk to almost everyone else, they just wanted to get out of Glen Helen survive mode, you know? So I don't know. I think we'll see more. It's kind of funny, even when Supercross starts, everybody's like, oh, wait till we get out of California and everything will change. And it's the same thing with outdoors. So
good for the Star Yamaha guys, though. You know what? Good for those guys.
You know what I was thinking about today? Okay, so who's really gonna take it away and let so Dean's out, for a while.
Yeah, what happened to your Mustang?
That's a major contender. Purcell, he has a lot of work to do if he wants to beat Webb and Martin, from what I saw.
Well,
I think he will improve. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. He will. But going into Hangtown, I fully expect those two to be at the front again. I do, from what I saw this weekend. I don't see anybody just maybe Baggett. Baggett wasn't too far off.
Even if they
were quite a bit better.
Even if they slip a bit, even if they slip a bit and don't ride as well at Hangtown as they do at Glen Helen, they're still better.
They were quite a bit better.
Okay,
visually, you could just see it.
My biggest surprise from Glen Helen is probably I thought the rest of the pack in 450s would be closer to Dungey and Roxon.
What was the gap there?
1 minute between Dunge and fourth place in Moto 1.
Holy shit.
And 34 seconds in second moto between between the second place and third place guy. Trey Kennard, Justin Barsha, Chad Reed, James Stewart, Mehdi.
Just way back.
Right?
Wow.
They got some work to do. Okay, you tell me Dungey wins and Roxon gets second, okay, fine. But they're going to be in a dogfight, but not at Glen Helen.
Right.
I do think that track is one of the easiest to make a lot of time on because it's so gnarly, so rough, huge uphills and downhills, lots of ways to lose time, make mistakes, screw turns up.
Yeah.
So I think that gap will come down in both spots.
It's got to. I hope so. It's got to.
Well, no, I just think that's the nature of Glen Helen. Is just it's really if you're just on and you're just better, you can really show it on that track.
Disappointments from Glen Helen, big disappointments. Mine is probably guys like Dino. I know he got hurt and he's out for a long time. Dino, Baggett, Porcel.
See, I thought Porcel did well.
Porcel, I shouldn't say that. He did okay. He did fine.
Everyone thinks he's going to quit.
No.
He came away with the 5th overall.
Right.
I think he rode pretty good because when he was in the first moto, I was watching him on TV and he was going backwards a little bit, and I was like, "Oh boy, here we go."
Well, second moto he went backwards too, but Wilson crashed with 2 laps to go.
Right.
Anderson's bike blew up, but he went a little backwards, only a little bit. He should have went 7.7 on the day, but he went 7.5 as it was.
He's still Porcel too because the segments that they showed him in, he wasn't jumping a couple of jumps.
Oh, he didn't jump that back triple all day.
Right, and he rolled the inside, and they didn't make any time up.
No.
So it's just like, guys.
You should have saw JT after practice, Kiefer.
Oh, is he tripping?
Oh, he was engraving a plaque, no national title. He was engraving a national title plaque.
No, but he was impressive in practice. Let's be real about it.
I know, but you were very excited.
See, that was.
Yeah, I didn't even call him for the win going into the race. So I was impressed by his speed. I think it just proved a point that he is still the guy that can go ride.
Yeah.
But he's definitely got some racing, some rust to work off, like you were saying.
When you're Blake Baggett and you get caught by the kid and dropped at Glen Helen, that's a little worrisome. And then in the first moto, he really was powerless too. He moved up a bit, but
he said he only rode 3 days though.
Why did he only ride 3 days?
Because of his eye. That's
know.
what I heard an interview after the race. He's like, this is I rode 3 days prior to this race, so he's like, I wasn't expecting a lot. So,
right. What's your biggest disappointment, Kiefer?
For me, I thought it was Stewart. I just thought he would be up in the mix more, and in the back of my mind, I knew he'd have some bike setting problems because it's outdoors. It's always a setting problem with Stu. So, and especially at Glen Helen, and I know he's been there quite a bit. And the times that I was there, his bike didn't look very good. So, but it surprised me that he wasn't on the podium at least.
Oh, me too. Yeah, 6.6 on the day.
Right, lackluster.
What about you, JT? Disappointment from Glen Helen?
I think you guys have picked some pretty good ones. Man, I don't know. I think.
What about Chad?
I was gonna say Stu, just because he didn't look like himself at all. He just didn't. To me, he just didn't. So.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I'm scrambling to pick another one because that was who I was going with. So.
Right. No, absolutely. It was amazing. No doubt about it. Dean Wilson out for a while. Had to have been a foot peg, huh? That did that to him. We all saw the cut on the internet, on Twitter and stuff. That was gnarly.
Did anybody catch it at all? Him coming?
I watched it live.
He hit a kicker or what?
Yeah, his bike was cutting out the whole moto. And they were basically like pre-jumping those bumps, typical Glen Helen. Mm-hmm. And he just went to there was a pretty big one, and they were doubling down the bumps, and he went to do that. And when the bike cut out, he was leaning. When a bike bogs, you obviously go forward because you're anticipating the bike accelerating. Well, coming down that hill, that's a real bad place to be. So as soon as the bike cut out, he leaned forward and then just basically went straight over the bars when he hit the bump. The bike didn't accelerate, so he caught the bump, obviously at the worst possible angle.
So,
and, straight over the bars.
Did you hear his bike cutting out? I never did. Not from where I was.
No, but I couldn't hear anything over the people screaming bloody murder on the hill. So.
Geez, that's a rough deal.
Weird because that's how many times that happened to him this year.
Wow, that's probably his third or fourth time his bike is caused.
Right.
If that is indeed what happened.
Yeah.
I saw his.
I mean, he does it on. He even motions on TV.
Oh, he does?
Before that.
Yeah.
At his bike. So, and Gio and Wygant really didn't know what to make of it, but obviously there was something going on.
Yeah, I haven't watched a TV show yet. I was busy all day today, but.
He motions at it coming up to the finish line, and I guess apparently they could tell in the mechanics area as well, but.
Yeah. So
bummer.
What? Yeah.
So he's done for a few rounds, right? I would assume.
I think a while.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit. Yeah.
Coming up with Dan Truman at Get Ignition, Cooper Webb on the show, Steve Bauer, and the great Talon Volan, Lone Wolf, coming on the show. Ow!
How about the FMF Honda he rode? That thing was sick.
It was sick. It was okay, and then he put his Italian motor on it, and it got better.
Italian.
I heard it was pretty slow. The bikes were slow. I heard.
Yeah, our bikes were pretty slow.
Oh.
I was there the year before.
Oh, okay.
They weren't very good, but he put an Italian motor in it, and it got better.
I was just talking about when they had the red pipe and all that.
No, that was dumb.
Oh, okay.
I was there. Josh Grant taking off with the first moto win.
Yeah.
Kiefer?
That bike's fast.
That bike is fast, but
Nicoletti. Yeah.
I thought he would fade, because you look at Josh and he doesn't look like he's in shape. He's just he's smooth, he's not really ripped or nothing, and he hasn't done anything in a while. And when I was out testing that day and I heard that he was winning, I'm like, wow, I can't believe that. And then I watched the moto and he didn't buckle, man, and Roxman was up his ass and he did not buckle.
We'll have Dan Truman on here to tell the story, but suffice to say I thought he would buckle too.
Yeah. But did you see how pumped? Not to say that he was Mike Alessi-ish, but first moto win, throws the bike down, celebrates like and right when he did that, I'm like, dude.
I don't like that.
I don't either. And I'm
like that.
Dude, you got another moto. You need to calm down a little bit.
Right?
And just chill out.
They put two of them count. There's two motos that count.
Right.
I'm with you on that.
But I think it was just like Mike, I think it was just a big relief to get one off of his shoulders, so.
And you know what? Full props to him in the second moto when he went down and he grabbed his leg and he was kind of sitting there. I'm like, oh, he's pulling off.
Right.
He's pulling off. And he did pull off, but only to straighten up his bike. Straighten the front end of his bike, and then he went back out there and got 15th.
Right. And
would have been easy to quit for him. So.
And even bobbed, back a little. He was catching up, and then he went back a little bit more.
Well, he flew off the track.
Right.
Another section.
And then caught back up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
JT, that's why Josh Grant keeps getting rides.
Yeah, I mean, we can work with speed. It all comes back to that, really. I mean, we laugh at it and make jokes of it, but that's what it's all about. I mean,
but we do.
You can hire whoever you want and think that, and you're going to get, top tens all year, but there's very few guys who can run away like that and lead and then end up winning moto.
But that's a Glen Helen thing only, right? He is not.
He's fast at Glen Helen.
Yeah, but he's not going to be. I mean, does anybody think this is the new Josh Grant where he holds it together? And
I don't at all. But
okay.
that's why.
I know
why he gets rides. I mean, he did that at Lakewood a few years ago. He has a history of doing that in certain situations.
No, but I'm wondering, do we think this is any sort of rebirth? He runs top 5 the whole year, podiums.
I think he can run top 5.
He'll have strong days and he'll have bad days. That's Josh Grant.
Yeah,
I mean, just
right.
He is
right.
I think he can do top 5s. I think he's in that mix right there.
Yeah.
It's just about holding it together.
The JGR guys are like, of course he won. He needs a ride.
Yeah, it's contract year.
It's contract year.
Yeah.
They all were. That's his own team talking.
Right.
But what a day for Yamaha.
Well, pretty strong
getting
evidence.
Back to that. 3 moto wins out of 4.
Did Volleman text you and get all excited?
I haven't heard from him. He could be down in Cyprus right now, just laying on the grass.
Just high-fiving Oliver and Perry and everybody.
You know what, though? Good for those guys. I've certainly been critical of Star Racing, and they have a checkered past, and, they've not been able to hold on to riders and mechanics and things like that, and you know what? It's good to have some success. We had a Troy Lee guy 3rd. We should have had a Rockstar KTM 4th or 3rd.
Yeah, there's no...
Geico and PC were not on the podium, not anywhere sniffing it.
Right.
So...
Bogle did ride good, though.
Bogle rode strong.
Yeah, Bogle rode good.
Look, if he hadn't crashed in that second moto first lap there, he would have done well.
Yeah, and he was tripling that thing. So.
Well, Jeremy Martin was just tripling that.
He would stand up. Like, Bogle would seat bounce it, and then Jeremy would, soak it up more, But
I'm not a huge proponent of the Yamaha chassis in both classes, but I'm all in on those engines. You can see it, that jump that Jeremy was doing.
Yeah.
He was doing it easy.
Yeah.
Here's the deal with the chassis situation, too. It's the same chassis. It's 450, 250 share the same frame. So when you add more horsepower to that 450, obviously the chassis.
They share the exact same frame? There's no
it's the same structural? Frame. The motor mounts are different, but the frame itself is the same.
Okay.
This is what they told me. And the 250 is just, it handles way better than the 450. Obviously because, there's less horsepower, but even cornering the bike sticks into corners better.
Mm-hmm.
You can move it. It just seems like there's more flex than there is in the 450. And, because I'm not a fan of the 450, but the 250, I'll ride that bike all day long. And I think that...
Yeah, and...
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I agree exactly with what you're saying. I think, for me, it feels like a bigger bike, and I think that doesn't apply for everyone. It just feels big for me.
Right.
So I know I'm in the minority as far as, size-wise, so it's just not the perfect bike for me, but I seriously am very, very impressed with the engine package they have.
We saw an angry Ryan Dungey. That was a nice pass.
Yeah, good for him.
A nice pass he put on Ken Roczen.
Yeah, it's about time he dropped his nutsack a little bit.
Does anybody have any problems with that pass on a teammate or anything?
No,
Does anybody?
Other than he probably should have done it 5 laps sooner.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, he looked like you can tell he gets excited for outdoors. He had a bad year at Supercross, and in the first mode I was like, 3rd. That's typical Dunge, 3rd, and then second mode he gets a good start, and I didn't think he was going to catch Roczen, but 3 laps to go, he was up in the mix.
He's the diesel, bro. He just keeps going.
Yeah, strong.
And Roczen,
he really should have made that pass happen a lot sooner. He should have had a very easy last 2 laps, in my opinion.
Well, he had a couple problems with lappers that definitely jacked him.
Yeah, no, I know, but I just think other guys. I still think it's his weakness. Other guys would have made that happen sooner.
He was making up time that I noticed on TV, and you guys were there. I don't know, but the big bowl sweepers that they had there, he would always stay way inside and low, and he would catch Roczen 10 bike lengths right there because Roczen would rail the outside.
Yeah.
Like Talladega, that one in the back, and then that one on Showy Hill, Roczen would rail it and then jump far down the hill, but Dungey would just hit the inside and just catch him, 3-4 bike lengths every bull turn. It was pretty cool.
702-586-7857 is the show number on PulpMX Show, presented by BTOsports.com. You know what? F it. First person who calls 702-586-7857 wins a pair of X Brown goggles. That's it. First call.
They get to pick their color, or you just...
No.
Oh.
I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? All right, Devin. First caller gets it right now. Look at Devin. He looks all out of it. He looks like he's... Are you okay?
Oh, I'm good. I'm just waiting for the first
You look
caller.
like you're half asleep.
I'm tired.
You look
Oh,
tired.
My gosh,
I'm
come
without
on.
a doubt tired.
Too
but
young.
don't worry about it.
Okay.
All right.
Regroup, bro.
Hey, man.
Need some coffee?
Yes, and I'm dedicated.
All right.
First caller, we got him.
All right, we already got it. Never mind, people. Already back off. That guy wins X-Brand goggles right now. So
Davey Coombs is beating up your kid.
So Michael Lessie didn't race.
That's a good intro.
Michael Lessie did not race.
Oh, Michael.
JT, did you hear some of the things going around about that?
I don't know exactly what you're referring to, but I don't know that I can disagree with some of the theories I heard.
Well, I'm just saying, if it was almost anybody else, people go, oh, yeah, he's sick. Oh, that's too bad.
Oh, man.
When Michael Lessie's sick,
Right.
I mean,
It's Rocky.
They haven't earned the benefit of the doubt, and people were just running wild with theories. It depends on who you talk to, man. It was awesome.
Did you go to the USADA meeting?
I did not. I did talk to
Well,
Wygant.
I talked to many people that did.
Yes, me too.
And he was the only one that got into a verbal discussion in front of everyone with the USADA people.
Oh, man.
Yes, I understand.
And there was a lot of back and forth and a lot of question asking.
And then,
very in-depth conversation about, and Mike Lessie was very upset with a few things and the way they were going about things, and then magically he doesn't race. And I'm not saying they're connected. I'm not, because I don't know that.
Many
But
people.
it's very suspicious. So if people want to connect those dots, I can't really say that it did or didn't happen. I don't know, but it's very suspicious.
And then there was the word that Tony was sending videos of Mike puking to people.
What?
To show that he was sick. Here's a video of my kid puking.
Oh, my God.
Dude, I don't know.
And I saw an actual hospital, like, diagnosis, check-in report, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, from Asterisk?
So, yeah, there definitely is proof that he was at the hospital and the diagnosis and all that. I actually saw this. So,
well, that's good news.
Like I said, I'm not saying that happened. I'm just saying it's very suspicious, and I can certainly understand how people would put that together.
There's a drug ring inside of MX Sports.
There were people at that USADA meeting that was like, what is these guys talking about? What are they talking about right now? But
yeah, you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot. I would ask about one question and then be
USADA was basically saying, look, a lot of over-the-counter supplements you guys are taking are probably illegal.
Right.
You need to check these You need to check the ingredients, check our ban list, get yourself right, and make sure you know what you're taking over the counter.
Well, wasn't your show? I don't remember.
And then
Claritin too is like you can't take.
Well, yeah, but from what I understand, it would be a massive dose.
Oh, okay.
And then basically the USADA guy said, basically from what I hear, they didn't say this, but they strongly hinted that because they were telling you this on a Friday, the day before the race, they didn't test the Glen Helen.
Right.
But they will be testing. But they're basically saying, we're telling you guys now, we don't want to catch anybody.
Get your
don't.
Shit correct.
Yeah, we don't. We're not out here to screw you guys all over.
Right.
Please look at the ingredients. We will be testing in the future.
Wow.
So.
Yeah, I guess they were saying that a lot of those supplements are unregulated, so they're basically, it's a real just cluster F of what their companies are putting in these things. So you can't just go off of, well, it says this, because a lot of times that's not actually what's in there, because there's no monitoring of this stuff. So
still a good thing, though. Still a good deal.
I agree. I'm on board with USADA being involved. I really hope that someone doesn't get a year ban when they really weren't doing anything that they thought was wrong.
No, but on the other hand, they have to pay attention. They have to be smart. I mean, we go, I predict some privateer will get caught.
What's the first?
That's what I mean, which sucks. That sucks.
But hey, make yourself do the right thing.
What's the first offense? What do you get?
It's just like big time, dude.
Oh, it's
big.
I think it's a year ban.
No shit.
Yeah. Yeah, the first one is big time, and then the second one is like you're done.
I'll be down.
So yeah, it's definitely.
And they're going to test privateers. They're going to go all the way back to the 35th guy.
No, I think it's random. It's random. Yeah, but anyways, it's good. It's a good thing. All right, hey, let's.
As long as it doesn't turn into a witch hunt, I'm on board.
It's not going to be a witch hunt.
That's what I said. As long as it doesn't.
All right, let's get to our first guest.